When documenting the paranormal, one will always come across a vast quantity of unverifiable testimonies. These stories can be compelling. However, human nature demands us to suspect the fanciful and intangible. But what about when law enforcers, the police, report the paranormal? With nothing to gain and their reputation at stake, do the testimonies of police officers offer credible evidence of the paranormal? On the 8th of February 2017, a poltergeist was claimed to have infected a house in the town of Puerto, Montt, Chile. A spirit was said to be causing chaos in the house. Objects were reported as being thrown across rooms by unseen hands. Inexplicable scorch marks would appear on furniture, and walls would be damaged. The family lived in constant fear. At the time, neighbours attested to the strange occurrences in the house. Towards the end of February, one of the family members' blankets caught fire by itself. With the family's lives now at risk, the police were called. When they arrived, inexplicable activity continued to occur. One of the officers on the case attested to seeing objects levitate of their own accord. After examining the house thoroughly, he stated, "There was no one inside the house and we could see the blanket on fire. It is something that cannot be explained." Whatever the cause of the strange happenings, it seemed to have a malicious intention. During his investigation of the house, the same officer came under attack. "I invoked the name of the devil in an attempt to rid the house of the presence. Whilst I was leaving the house, I felt a knife scrape across my back. It was only due to the bulletproof vest I was wearing that I was able to avoid injury." At this point, the family was moved out of the house and given shelter by the local community. Unable to explain the events or find proof of a crime having been committed, there was nothing more that the police could do. After the family moved out, priests, evangelical missionaries, and television crews began to visit the house in an attempt to exorcise the evil force thought to reside within. It was a locally renowned medium by the name of Vanessa Darroch who was claimed to have eventually soothed the poltergeist activity. When she arrived at the house, she is said to have made contact with a female spirit, who yearned to know more about a child also in spirit. After reuniting them and giving the spirit the information it wanted, the activity was alleged to have calmed down. However, the frightening occurrences in the house did not stop altogether. The family, now back living there, continued to fear what they described as a paranormal presence. Yet, the veracity of the poltergeist activity was placed under question when the medium, certain that she had resolved the troubled spirit, declared the continuing activity as a hoax. As a result, the media concluded that the entire case was a fabrication, most likely perpetrated by the teenage nephew of the owner of the house. The truth, however, remains clouded. Reliable witnesses, including police officers, continued to affirm what they had experienced, that something paranormal did indeed occur at the house. On the evening of Saturday the 21st of March 2015, the Gladstone Benarabi Road was closed in Australia to search for a lone woman wandering the road. She had been sighted several times by local residents, crying and stumbling along the road. Sergeant Andrea Campagnolo was called to the scene. She herself saw a woman on the road, but when she turned the police car around to help her, she had vanished. The police ordered the dog squad to search the area. Nothing was found. Unable to find the distressed lady, the road was reopened. Later that same evening, the road had to be closed again. Ambulance officers called the police to report having seen a woman wandering the road. A police patrol was sent back, and the search resumed. Despite having searched for many hours into the night, they found nothing and no one. No missing persons had been reported in the area either. Thus, the case was relegated to mystery. Since the incident, numerous testimonies have been made by people claiming to have seen a woman of similar description along the same stretch of road. One local resident described how she had seen the lady 12 months before the road closure. She had her knees bent in. It looked painful. The way she was walking, I thought she was drunk. A few months later in July, a driver reported that they had seen a woman on the side of the road with dark hair and a white shirt. Concerned about her, they got closer, only for her to disappear. She disappeared. I was trying to look for her and heard a swishing noise against the back of my seat. As I looked in my rear vision mirror, I saw a figure in my back seat. Despite a stream of similar testimonies of a mysterious woman disappearing on the road, police have been left confused and unable to solve the case. Some, however, do believe that there is an answer to this case. This particular road, for many years previous to these sightings, has been the site of multiple car accidents and fatalities. Its reputation is so bad that a local newspaper, the Gladstone Observer, in 2014 had a commentary written calling upon the local government to repair the road to help decrease the number of accidents. As such, to many it makes sense that the woman witnessed by police officers and local residents was in fact an apparition, a spirit of a lady who was tragically involved in one of the many fatal accidents to have occurred on the road. On the 20th of September 2014, in the American town of Española, New Mexico, Officer Carl Romero allegedly witnessed something very strange on the CCTV camera system of his police station. At first, I thought it was a fly, a moth, and then I saw the legs, and it was a human. But not a real human. No, a ghost. Romero reported the incident to his superiors, who did not have an explanation for the figure on the camera, as anything walking through that area of the station would have triggered the alarm. Chillingly, this was not a solitary event at the police station, but one of a long list of inexplicable, seemingly paranormal, occurrences which have been reported by police officers for years. A lot of officers have seen certain things. Some officers have felt someone breathing down their necks as they're working in the briefing room. The CCTV footage has, however, received a mixed reception. Some paranormal investigators have expressed skepticism, including Brian Bonner of the Rocky Mountain Paranormal Research Society. He believes that rather than being a ghost caught on camera, the officer's first instinct was correct, and that it was simply a small insect. Regardless, several police officers still believe that there is a ghost haunting their station. After the event, Officer Solomon Romero has stated on record that he does believe it was something otherworldly. In his own words, "It was hard to say, but I do believe in ghosts." In the capital of the Basque Country, in the very heart of its government buildings, there is a police station that for decades has been reported as haunted. It all began in 1994, when a security guard at the police station saw an old man holding a young boy's hand in the hallway one evening. Alerted, the guard went to chide them for being in the building at night. They did not respond to the security guard's warning. They simply stood still, staring at him in silence. The guard then went to get a co-worker to assist him in escorting the two out of the building. But by the time he had returned, the pair had vanished. The guard was left befuddled, and many did not believe him. However, some police officers working in the area did. One, Officer Santos, who worked in another area of Spain, offered to help. Keen to unmask the cause of the security guard's distress, he positioned a radio cassette tape in the empty cells of the police station to be left over several nights. When he played back the tape with colleagues, they were all horrified. It is said that he had captured the sounds of groans and screams on tape. Nobody could explain the sounds. For some time afterwards, people reported seeing a boy in the building who would disappear before their very eyes. Other paranormal occurrences reported in the station included children whispering in people's ears, furniture mysteriously moving, and even a child's laughter ringing ominously through the halls. The boy phantom became such a phenomenon that he was given the name Andresito in an effort to diminish fear of him. Many have said that the story is a hoax perpetrated by young people in the area. However, stories of paranormal events at the police station persist, and people continue to fear the supposed boy spirit. In Scotland in early August 2016, a squad of police officers were called to a residential home claimed to be under siege by a poltergeist. There, they claimed to have witnessed a variety of shocking paranormal activity. The family, a mother and her teenage son, had called the police after experiencing 2 days of bizarre and terrifying phenomena. The police expected to be dealing with a mental health issue. However, when officers arrived, they saw clothes flying across the room, lights turning on and off by themselves, and even a small Chihuahua dog seemingly moved to the top of a 7-foot hedge. A police spokesperson described how officers with more than 20 years service are saying they've never seen anything like this. It really is something that down-to-earth police officers are having trouble getting their heads around. How do you handle what has been described as a poltergeist? As the family were devout Catholics, the police assisted by arranging help from a nearby church. A priest came and performed a blessing, and thereafter continued to perform pastoral services for the family. The poltergeist activity persisted, and has been described as violent. Despite everyone's best efforts, with the police giving safety advice, the family could not stand to live in the property any longer, and so moved out. Since that time, the police have stopped investigating the case. A police spokesperson has confirmed that officers witnessed inexplicable occurrences, but that there was nothing they could do. No crime has been established, they said, so what else can we do but deal with any reports of disturbances? After all, there is no legal procedure for handling a poltergeist or other cases of the paranormal, even when the police themselves have witnessed the phenomena. Thank you so much for watching, and an extra thank you to our patrons for their support this past month. If you would like to support us on Patreon, you can do so for as little as $1 a month, with the ability to cancel or edit your pledge at any time. Also, please remember to subscribe if you have not done so already. It helps us out a lot. And if you cannot wait until my next video, be sure to check out the one suggested on screen now. Remember, the more you know, the more there is to fear.